Suicide Squad.
The
Wait,
theme.
okay.
Yes.
Roll credits.
It's garbage. Anyways.
We'll let Austin start. We'll go around this way then.
Go on this way. Okay, well you started, so it's Cody next. So Cody, what did you think of
Okay.
this movie?
Yeah. Start Cody.
I like Suicide Squad better. Brandon's gonna kill me soon.
He wants
Mr.
to
Tomato's
walk me
gonna
too,
kill
so
me.
I know that it's Mr. Tomato.
Mr. Tomato right now.
Okay.
Brandon's very burnt from filming today, even though he was in the shade.
The shade burns.
Yeah, for like a little while most of the time. Most of the time we were out near the bridge,
Yeah,
and there was like no shade there.
Anyways, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
Oh, okay.
Woman is a very average movie.
Don't you mean above average? Or in Brandon's case, below average?
Wonder Woman is very
I'm sorry.
middle of the road. I'd put it around like Thor, stuff like that.
Would you rate it 5 inches or 6?
I don't know, just like a solid, just line in the middle somewhere. White race. Like the kind of like a bit better than the Mummy yesterday.
You rate it what?
8 inches.
You rate it
Oh my
flat.
God, horrible. Okay. Anyways, on
He
back
rated
to
inches
black.
of flesh.
It's okay, we're just talking about the watch.
We'll start over at this point.
No, we might as well actually just get going into it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make more penis jokes.
Let him get into it.
Like I got into it.
Well, it was a bit better than the Mummy yesterday. Probably the best female superhero movie, best DC movie. Yeah.
Well, it's like the only superhero.
Well,
female superhero movies.
That's not.
It's not.
Huh? Catwoman.
Don't even bring Catwoman into
Supergirl,
here.
Electra.
Supergirl.
Supergirl had a movie.
Yeah, they had a movie in the 1980s.
Oh, okay, 1980.
That's some movies existed back then, Cody.
You said name a movie.
I can name a good.
No,
Yeah, that's the
that
point.
was the
This
point.
is the only one.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay, name a superhero, a female superhero movie with that.
Can I include the Avengers? Because Black Widow's in it.
It's not her.
Then you
That
can
was
include
just-
Batman versus Superman. Who's a
Huh?
You can include Batman versus Superman though.
Yeah, but I wouldn't include that as a good movie.
Yeah, that's so bad.
I don't know. It left no real impression on me. Are you taking a picture of me right now?
Yes.
Well, I think the difference between this and the other movies is one thing I was mentioning to Austin. They'll never make a good movie. I used to say before this, they'll never make a good movie.
And they
DC
still haven't.
until they focus on characters and making characters that are relatable rather than having just
I can relate
Action.
to a Mexican drug lord that turned into
No, this
flames.
movie is
and
mostly
rather
action,
where they just
and
focus.
it's all gray.
No, where they just
And it's
focus.
all slow
Listen,
motion.
or they just focus on like the vapid things that Marvel does. Like, oh, they have a fun soundtrack. Oh, they have bright, flashy colors. Oh, they have.
I know,
fun
it was very gray.
characters.
They definitely
And
didn't
they-
have colors
yeah, it
in
was
this
very-
movie.
Instead of focusing on those things, why not just try your own style and try to make characters?
Which it didn't really.
Which
It was
were
very
around
every
that.
superhero
Brandon,
movie
Brandon,
ever made.
What about Will Smith? I can relate to Will Smith.
What
Will
about
Smith
Will
is
Smith?
Will Smith. He's terrible.
Oh, and Suicide Squad is what you mean.
Yeah, I can relate to Will Smith. Well, that's the character he plays in Suicide Squad.
They
Yeah,
just
Will
do a
Smith.
very
He
generic.
doesn't play anyone else.
He has a
That's
daughter.
it.
You
Don't
must
get
relate.
into this because Brandon and I did during the Mummy review yesterday.
Gotten into Will Smith.
Oh, we did.
Yes, that Brandon was like, Will Smith is horrible and he's such a bad actor.
He's in it.
And I'm just like, it's just Will Smith.
Wait, Will Smith's in the Mummy?
In Suicide Squad.
You were talking about the Mummy. Why did you bring in Suicide Squad?
I don't know.
No, it came up like the studio-made movies where they just completely overstep their boundaries and they just try to make.
I
a
can
product
relate to a
that they're
Mexican
gonna
drug
make,
lord that kills his family and becomes a giant skeleton to save his friends.
which is
So-
a power that
so
they
can
never
I-
explained that he had.
I can relate to a psycho
I mean,
girl
they
using
picked
the
him,
hammer and never has
They knew
any
he
other
was a
powers
complete
and
dud
it's
and
crazy.
useless to them.
I can relate to a giant alligator monster thing.
Huh. Hey, yeah.
Who had
A
his
power that they never established, eh? How about a villain they never established until like the last 5 minutes?
I established him from a bit about Ares. They established that you were
They
after him.
established Ares from the very
No, they established him in the sense that people talk about him. He doesn't show up till like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
yeah,
just
the
like,
whole movie's
there
about
he is,
the
I guess we're
search
just gonna
for-
fight now.
The whole
It
movie.
was so generic.
The whole movie though is about her searching for Ares. Of course, he's not going to show up till the end.
I understand that,
She
but it was
has-
so obvious who Ares
The
was the
end
whole time.
will be
When
where
she
she
knew it was the
where she
Fun
finds.
0 seconds?
I said it to you, I was like, it's that British guy.
Oh wait,
Since
you
you're
just
on
ruined it for
us.
the whole audience, even though the movie takes place in London.
Good.
Even though the movie takes place in London, but
Yeah.
Anyway, I was trying to say they won't make it a
For the
efficient
audience.
movie
it's the British.
until they focus. You let me speak.
Can I say one thing?
Until they focus on characters, and in this one they actually gave her a character with emotions and something to care about.
She can
and
convey
something-
an emotion.
So, she's very closed
But she
off.
can convey
She,
a lot
she
of
lived her
things.
whole life very closed off to the outer world. She doesn't know what it's like, what men are like, but she also doesn't know what other societies, the world societies are like. So when she goes in, she's experiencing all of this all at once, and it overwhelms her, and you feel the range of emotions that she feels. You see the range of emotions that she feels
It's
when
ugly.
she's experiencing them. When she's experiencing the beauty that humanity can.
Well, her first words
Okay,
were, "It's
how
ugly,"
can they-
when she went to London.
Yes.
Look at that beautiful, it's
But
ugly.
also how.
Well, I do
How
like how she was
ugly
very
and-
neutral on people until she
and
decided she
rude
hated
and
people, and
evil
5 minutes
they could
decided
be.
she loved people.
Yeah, she was really switched and easily
Yeah.
conveyed about if she likes people or not.
And
It's
she
not like-
decides she hates people twice.
And then decides she likes people,
Gets
hates
people.
people, likes
I
people,
hate
hates people, and then at the end, likes people.
They gas
Or no, in the end, neutral.
No, it's they gas people. I hate people. They're still fighting. I hate people. I guess I like people. No, they're alright. They're pretty good.
No, so it's
I
I
guess
also,
it's
I
after
also
all
like
that.
that she was a superhero.
I don't know. I keep looking at this every time I mention time. I'm like,
Oh, look what time it is,
I
it's
haven't
my
watched.
skin. Look what time it is, it's my skin.
Does somebody else want to talk that is going to be allowed to talk?
Here you go.
I also like how she was a superhero in this case that actually wanted to save people. She actually felt it was her duty and her responsibility to save people, and she never wavered in that.
superheroes.
Superman, Batman.
Superman, not
Every
at all.
superhero?
Superman,
He's
whenever
not
he
talking about
saved
Man of
people.
Steel.
I'm
He's
not talking about Man of
Superman.
Steel. I'm not talking about Man
No,
of
I
Steel.
know, but I'm saying in this instance,
He's
in
not
the
talking about that. He's
DCEU,
talking
this
about
is
actual Superman in the
But I'm talking about. But I'm the one talking.
But-
So I'm the one talking about what I'm talking.
Okay,
I'm
we'll
saying
talk-
how in
you're
this
after he's
situation
done,
in the
we'll bring it all
DCEU,
up after he's done talking.
they're finally in the DCEU showing a superhero that actually wants to be a superhero, that actually doesn't see it as like this horrible burden and doesn't look down upon the idea of being a superhero and think it's just this hassle like Superman does, and it makes it very hard to get behind him and to root for him when he doesn't root for it himself. He doesn't have this clear purpose that he's fighting for. He just sees all this stuff out and he's like, I guess I have to do something. Wish I didn't. But she actually sees everybody else who's just trying not to do this. And she says, no, this is wrong. We have to stand up for what's right. What we know is right.
No, it's Cody. He's just like, relax.
Like, calm down, Austin, don't say anything.
So I like that they actually
Very
created
good.
a real superhero that you can get behind in this one, that actually has a purpose, a sense of purpose. Like that's what I mean when they finally focus on the character. finally done it. So I think this movie deserves major props for that. Yeah, I'm done.
Can I rebuttal now?
Okay, go Austin. I know you want to say some stuff.
Yeah, you
I
can
wouldn't
say
give
it.
it props for making her a superhero that wants to be a superhero, considering that's pretty much every superhero movie outside of the DCEU.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it.
They
to
don't say, I'm just a superhero, I'm born this way. Did Batman go, he sees his parents die and goes, oh, well, I guess I have to help people now.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Superman sees his uncle die.
His uncle,
Oh!
what?
No,
Spider-Man.
no, that's not him. No,
Spider-Man.
not uncle, what's his name? Superman's
Dad.
dad.
Yeah.
When he,
Adopted
on
father.
Earth, yes, adopted father died. And he goes, oh, guess I have to save everyone now.
Well,
His
Superman
parents
Superman
raised
was
him.
like born being like, I'm gonna go save everyone because
Yeah,
I am
and his
Superman.
parents in the comics and in the original movies raised him to value life and be basically this all-American symbol of altruism. And in the new ones, they just make him
But basically what I'm saying is I would much rather go watch a movie where the character is a superhero and it's interesting to look at. Again, I don't know. It's all gray and it's so boring to look at, and every action scene is just slow-mo.
It wasn't every single
It
one.
was Cody.
A lot.
A lot of them.
I
were
turned to
slow-mo,
Cody in
that
like the
is,
second fight scene and I'm like, oh my god, this slow-mo is driving me nuts. And Cody's like, yeah, I know.
Well, this was written. There is a
If you took
undoubtedly
out all
a
the
lot of it.
slow-mo, it's probably an hour and a half.
What do you say, Ryan? There is a lot of it. Yes, for
It's
sure. And
obnoxious.
it's written by Zack Snyder and his wife.
We did the story.
Yes,
It's
they don't. I
Can't
know
blame
they
him
don't
on
choose
that.
it, right? But
It's
they
the
also
director's
do
choice.
producers and stuff. Yeah.
They didn't write down, no, they fight in slow motion.
Sure he did. I'm sure he did because it's in every one of
Bracket
his
slow
movies.
motion.
So it must be like at this point in his career that he must
No.
make them into
For
the story.
300, he was given a 20-page script, and they were like, "Here's your movie." And he was like, "Oh my god, that's not enough to make a movie." That's slow-mo, slow-mo, slow-mo,
Yeah,
slow-mo.
probably. Probably.
Like, can I say something, man? The Cat in the Hat was like half a page. We made a whole movie about that.
No, Cat in the Hat. They were like, what? They were like, okay, we have this
Child's book.
15-page book to make a movie out of, and then they threw it in the garbage.
Can we get back to Wonder Woman and discussing that movie instead of Cat in the Hat for some reason?
I don't know. Cody was the one who brought it up. And I would
You
much
say,
rather
"Don't Cat
talk
in the
about
Hat,
Cat
I'm
in the
doing
Hat.
it."
Cat in the Hat, I
Discussion.
legitimately have feelings about. Like this movie. This movie is like its color palette is great.
A lot of the scenes are great.
Yeah.
I found trouble seeing a lot of it.
So did I.
The lighting, yeah, can be very, very
So
Which I think
bad.
that's sort of the direction that DC has been going for a while.
I know it's
Yes.
rough.
Having gray everywhere, dark fight scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough, yeah. I was very lost on a lot of it.
What I didn't like, though, is the fight scenes where she's fighting the armies. Where she's fighting the armies. Like,
Yeah. No, there were some
they
good
go to no
fight
man's
scenes.
land.
They were well choreographed and they were well filmed too.
I thought
Choreographed is.
I thought the best, yeah, pretty much. Oh, there's a bullet coming at me.
Okay, well when she breaks into the
No, I actually thought the best fight scene in general
she's
was
not just
probably,
like
was
this.
probably the one in the alleyway.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
alleyway,
that was
yeah, where
pretty
she's blocking.
Because I don't think there was any slow-mo, and it was pretty
There was
fast,
no slow-mo
and it
in
was
that
just, I was like, oh, you guys did a good job on this one.
Well, some parts, I think, is a little bit out of character for her, too. Because she's just discovering man's world.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the world outside.
Where the guy kills himself. Wouldn't that be the worst thing she could ever see? Because she believes that
I
people
wish
should
that too,
die
she-
in fights.
But Cody,
And she
Gal
sees this
Gadot
guy just die,
doesn't have
have
a wide
nothing.
array of
She doesn't notice.
emotions. So she's just like, he's dead.
Yeah, that was basically
He's
it.
dead, Jim, because he's not good. Yes, but he's dead, Jim.
Honestly, I would have liked to see her develop more into the man's world.
I
think
agree.
it
I
was-
don't think that's gonna.
She was thrown in it, and it was just like, there you go.
A lot of it's kind of stereotypical. The clothing scene is the stereotypical fish out of water scene.
Well, for that time period.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the when you have a character that's not used to this new world, you tend to do a scene like that as a
Oh,
child.
with clothing? Yeah. But that's just because.
No, I know. What I'm saying is just I wish they had actually gone into more of her character.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, I guess you can say that clothing's.
Yeah.
It did drag on a little.
And that scene wasn't like bad. I just it wasn't great.
Honestly, I think they should have took
Stereotypical.
some parts of where she's in her world, I guess you'd say, or I don't know.
Themyscira,
Yeah,
which
I
was
can't
the
remember
one
how
thing
to
I'll
say
give it is that Themyscira is really nice looking. Like it is a lot more colorful, and I think the idea is that it's colorful there. She gets to the man's world, it's not, and then as she learns to like them, it becomes more colorful. Except it doesn't.
Well, I
It's
think
gray from
yeah.
everything
Honestly,
after that.
I think they should have cut some of it of her being that world and put it more into her being
I
learning
agree.
and learning.
I don't
doesn't
think we
learn
needed to
how-
see her as a kid, personally. I said I don't think we
Oh,
needed
they
to
put way too much time with her kids.
Yeah. We needed less
Yeah.
when she's watching people fight. And
Another
more
thing-
actual character development.
Another thing that I liked was how originally she saw the Germans obviously invading the beach, and when she found out this guy was a spy, she thought it was very black and white. This guy is
She doesn't know he's a spy at that point.
No, but once they do,
No, I'm just saying because you were like when they're on the beach and she
She finds out she's
No.
the spy when they.
My wife's listening.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Well, they interrogate him with the lasso of truth, and afterwards she finds out that he's a spy, and then they go back to Britain. At that point, she thinks that, okay, the Germans attacked, they're the bad guys, the British are
Also, the
fighting
guy
them,
says
they're
they're
the
bad
good
guys.
guys.
Also, the guy says they're the bad guys.
She also says, okay, fine. She also says, she also goes there though and finds out that there's this this general who is unwilling to send more infantry in to the front lines and starts to feel like
German general.
it starts to feel like this is dishonorable. Why would they do this? It starts to muddy it up for her, and then it also when she meets the Indian chief, who for the most part I didn't like, but because he was very good. His
Like
delivery
everything
and
else
everything.
in this movie.
They could
And
have
then- And then he says, well, at least here I'm free, unlike back home. And he's like, she says, who took that from you? His people, and points at Steve and Trevor. So this man who she thought was on the good side, the good guys, those good guys stole land from an innocent man.
But I just want to say
She
that, like I
didn't-
said before,
they're
it's not gray like you're saying throughout it. She's very much just like, oh, I'm along for the ride on this. Decides she hates people and decides she likes people. It's not a complex character or a character in general. She's very light switchy. It's she hates people now. Oh, she likes people now.
I found that was a very weak point of where he says, because the way man took my land. Just because she doesn't change any emotion towards the guy.
Exactly.
All it is,
doesn't
it's like,
say
you took
anything
my
in
land,
the
and she's
movie.
like,
You could
oh,
cut
that
scene
sucks.
and it would change nothing.
She doesn't
Does
trust
not add
him
to her
less.
character.
She doesn't feel bad for the guy.
Adds
Afterwards.
nothing to how she feels about people.
Yeah. So that didn't affect
That's
anything
nothing.
for her.
If that scene were built on, it would be a good scene. But it's
Like if she
No,
talks
it's
to
a
more
good
about
idea
how he
that's-
stole his land.
exactly, it's a good idea.
And
that
how
goes
he's
nowhere.
still helping to fight. And
Mhm.
still helping this
Exactly.
guy, this white guy, who,
Good idea goes nowhere.
because then that could easily change her emotion.
What do you guys think of the twist with Ares being the British guy? Would you
Called
just...
it the second he was introduced, as both of you know.
Well, I just think that the idea if she actually found the guy that she was looking for and it was Ares, and eventually she did kill him, that guy, that German guy, and it turned out that the war was still going on, and she thought like, oh, destroy Ares means you destroy the evil in society. But then if that happened, and what happened continued, like it happened, it continued, and she saw it and she says, "What's going on? You know, what? I destroyed him. What's going on? I killed him. Why are they still fighting? They shouldn't have any desire anymore." And he finds out it's just mankind. They have it within them. That would have been an even more. And then they decided on their own that they had to stop the war. They didn't have to have this epic battle, lightning battle at the end, where he just had to just help her destroy the plane, and
Well, he even says that too. Ares even says he didn't start this either. He just
No,
gave
I
them
know.
the weapons.
I
and
know
gave
they
them
do
a
that, but I'm
choice.
saying they don't need to put him in there again. It's just overkill, and they have just so they could have this big epic battle. But I don't think they needed to have. What I'm saying is they didn't need to have that epic battle. It could have just ended, where that final thing is it keeps going, and then she doesn't know why, and she just discovers that and goes, "Well, now we have to stop this plane. It's still taking off. They're going," and they both work to stop the plane, and he ends up taking it over and blowing himself up.
Well,
And it could have been just as.
They also had to have a reason
just
for
the
her to
same
stay back.
things.
They need a reason for her to stay back too.
yeah,
Because she's immune to the poison. She's immune to the explosion.
Right.
You can easily solve it.
So that's
No,
why he told her.
What I
to
mean,
stay
what I
back.
meant before when I said that they don't do anything with Ares, what I mean by that is he shows up in the last 5 minutes as like no character. He's essentially one of the worst villains I've seen in a
Stereotypical.
comic book movie. And I guess his plan is to kill people so that he can make the environment good.
Yeah, actually, that's like his.
He erases
Is
mankind.
he poison ivy?
He erases mankind because he wants to erase
No, I understand
mankind
that.
because of
But
their
He's
malevolence.
introduced in the last 5 minutes and has no character. It's just like, I'm gonna kill everyone and then life will be good
It's
again.
like everyone's evil. I'm good. Die.
Isn't it the other way you mean? You said
No.
everyone's evil. I mean, oh, I see what you mean.
Every
So
human's
this point of
evil.
view.
He's good. Die.
Everyone's good and I'm evil. I'm the villain of this movie. And
But-
there's only 5 minutes left, so I guess I'll fight you now.
I think there's not much more to say. I think we've covered.
Well, one thing bugged me too is the age. That really confused me.
Oh, how she doesn't age past a certain point.
Like I said, when you're immortal, you're born as a
Oh,
child,
yes.
you grow till you're like 20 something, and then you're that age for the rest of time.
Yeah, because your cells just say, "Oh, it's 20. Better stop growing."
Yeah, but stuff. Well, I'm pretty sure stuff going to like 16, 18, so when you're at.
No, it's about like
Did you
21,
say-
22,
Oh, okay.
or 23 maybe.
Okay, so you grow.
Because you grow intelligently as well.
I don't know.
But she didn't see that intelligence. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I'm pretty sure she stopped growing at 12.
All right. Let's get on
Also-
to final thoughts. I don't know if Cody.
You also had something about the actress.
Oh, I just don't think she's that great of an actress.
I
You
thought,
didn't think she was made for the
I thought
role.
she was bad in Batman vs Superman, and this I think she's all right.
Oh, there's a lot of lines.
I just there's lines in this where I'm like, oh, she's clearly like inexperienced with this, but like they still have
She has like
worked
one
as
emotion.
much
It's
to make
that-
her better.
It's like that happy, curious thing. And then whenever she was mad or anything, I laughed. And I think the emotional part that I laughed, I think it was her yell that made me laugh. Where she goes,
Yes, that
there's
was
just like that
Yeah.
After
after the
explosion.
emotional scene.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
it.
emotional scene because I was laughing.
Okay, final thoughts, and then we can do. I don't know if you would give a score out of 10. I know Austin doesn't. I know I do. So it's
He
all
gives
up to
it a
you.
shirdable.
Hey,
He gives
don't
everything.
talk about my scale.
He gives everything.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Not the
that's
mummy. The mummy got a remakeable.
Yes, that was the
Yeah,
one.
but that's
oddity.
just because you want to make a 5th remake
Anyway.
yourself.
Let's get into final
I
thoughts
guess-
anyhow.
I
Starting with Cody.
I'll give it 3 whips out of 5.
Three. Final thoughts, like something to like the summary of how you
I
felt.
scale it with the item that is most influential in that movie.
Would it be? It wouldn't be whips though.
Well, that's what I know Wonder Woman for, whips.
The summary of how
She's
you
into
felt about
BDSM.
this movie.
Just like Catwoman.
A summary of how you felt about this movie.
3 grays out of 5.
I thought it was a good movie. The best DC movie of this.
Of the
Out of this, yeah, I'll give you that. That's not saying anything.
The color.
No, yeah,
Was
people are
bland.
saying like, oh, best since Dark Knight. It's like, you know how low that bar is. You just have to make a decent movie. It's you literally your job don't suck.
But it's nothing. Just the lighting, the color, all terrible. Her personality, I guess, or how they structured it was a bit off.
Oh, thing, and you said you didn't find Steve Trevor to be all that memorable either.
Yeah, the main character. I couldn't even remember his name.
Yeah, I thought he was alright. I thought they had good chemistry.
Yeah.
But
Chemistry.
I
I
guess
just didn't think he had personality.
no, fair enough.
He's like,
His-
I'm a
his-
spy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his personality is that he wanted to be good.
Right.
Good is his
And also
personality.
because his father told him to be good.
Well, that's right. I forgot about that because it was said once at the beginning.
That he could either do nothing or
You're either all powerful and all
or do something
not
that's already
good, or
tried
you're
to do
good.
nothing.
They didn't try hard enough.
Whatever.
Anyway, your thoughts on this movie, and then we'll end.
I think I'll hate this movie more as we talk about it.
That's how I'm feeling when I'm re-talking about it. Like, yeah, there's some spots.
Yeah, I think when we walked out, I was like, it was good, but not great. Talking about it, I think I may really dislike this movie. Don't wow me.
So wait,
I
My
don't
opinion is
Well,
valid.
yeah.
Would you give it a shirt?
Huh?
Would you give it a shirt?
I will give it a corner logo on the shirt.
I was gonna say, you would give it a shirt without sleeves.
Yes.
Shirt without sleeves.
Yeah.
Those are those.
It's shirtable, but only for
In
a
my
shirt
opinion,
with
though,
sleeves.
it may actually backfire on your score list because I find those shirts to be the coolest shirts.
Okay, then
Okay,
shirt with
then
more
what?
sleeves, 20 sleeves, all
These
the
sleeves,
sleeves.
they go here too.
That's
For
weird.
foreheads.
So this is just a weird movie.
And it's for a shirt that has no head holes. And it instead it just has a big hole here.
So you
Does
just have
that count as the head hole?
No, instead you just kind of like your head.
You wear
just
like
the shirt
that.
and your face just kind of like goes in a circle.
I see.
So it's like that.
Essentially, yes.
So you look like the humpback of Notre Dame.
Yes. That is the type of shirt that this movie is.
Yes, mask.
Ending with me, I think they finally tried to make a character and focus on a character. However well they succeeded is up for debate. But they actually finally did it. They actually didn't just try to focus on the vapid things that are in Marvel movies and try
Yes,
to copy
you are
it.
right, which is why they took Thor and Captain America First Avenger and made them into one movie.
But I mean, they didn't take the vapid things. They didn't just take like effects. They didn't just take jokes. They didn't just take that. They didn't just do
That's
that.
right.
for
They
the
came
sake
up
of
with their own
doing it.
penis
They did it.
jokes.
They did their own story. They did things that suited it. They did things that they felt suited it. It was made with the intent of art, with somebody who intended to write a story, not just somebody who was making a product. And I think that was very different, and for the EU at least. And
Rating?
I like
For
how
the European Union?
for the
didn't know they did
DCEU,
movies.
the DC,
That is a thing.
the DC European Union.
The DC Union.
um,
Well, you know what the best universe name is? And I realized this yesterday. The Universal Dark Universe Cinematic Universe.
yes, that is.
DUZC.
The UDUCU.
Damn.
The Oduku.
Uduku.
Uduku. That is that. When you just say it like that, it is a cool one.
Wait,
Yeah,
would be.
but I like how
Uduku.
the side characters, though not always developed, did have.
They're developed as
They
much
had-
as every other character.
They had personality. They actually had personality and qualities and
I'm the womanizer,
things that they
that's
had.
my character.
Like
That's
the one guy wanted to be an actor and he was the wrong color, obviously, because back in those
Oh,
days.
what? He's not white, so he's the wrong character, Brendan? Or wrong color? Sorry.
Back in those days.
I'm just messing
Yeah,
with you.
and, And
Go on with
so
your
he
speech.
decided to be a
Comment.
con man because he was He's
has
very
a
good at
fabulous
acting. He
Fez
loved it.
hat.
His
I
Fez
love
hat was
Fez.
amazing.
Fezes are my favorite hats.
Why?
Next to
They're
fedoras.
amazing to look at.
Next to
Not
fedoras,
really,
right?
it's like a red box.
Yeah, they're just fabulous. Anyway,
Not really.
I find them fabulous. Screw you.
Fedoras are
They're
fabulous.
I love fedoras as well, but Fezes I love more. You just
Oh,
can't
okay.
buy Fezes anywhere.
Look at this. I found
You can't buy
the
Fezes
box of
anywhere?
You can't just buy Fezes at like Lids. You can't
Oh
go.
yeah, not Lids.
Doc, you can't just walk into a store and buy a Fez.
You go to like merchandise stores and you find them everywhere.
The Scottishman was a singer, and
And they set up this whole thing where it's like he doesn't like to shoot people, and then
They
never
never really set it up. They
No,
bring
they-
up how goodies can shoot, and then
and then he's
he
just like,
didn't shoot.
"Okay, shoot." And they're like, he sometimes doesn't like to shoot, and then it never is mentioned again.
like they could have brought up a story. Like they could have gave him a backstory of why
Yeah.
he didn't want to shoot him.
they don't go into their backstories as much
They don't
as
go
they could.
into character, Brad.
I don't like-
Cody.
But they do have personalities. They do have things
40
about them.
minutes of fights.
They do have things about them that are unique to themselves,
Yeah, but
and
they could have explained
that make them more interesting and more that you want to learn more about them. So you're more engaged.
I think they have as much development as the dwarfs from the
I didn't
Hobbit.
say
They each
development.
have their own thing.
I didn't say development. I just said that they're interesting.
You
would
want to
like
learn
know
more about them, but you can't.
Not hear what I just said. I said I think they have as much depth as characters as the hobbits from the
Depth of
the
character,
dwarves from the
interesting,
Hobbit,
very
as
different
in the
to
sense
me.
that they each have that one thing, and you sometimes remember them, you sometimes don't. Most of the time you don't.
Do you feel
But
they
they're
used
fun to
World
watch
War
because
One
they
because
have.
Not really.
do you think they used
Anyway.
World War One because World War Two was taken by Captain
I
America?
actually like.
Which is weird,
I
'cause
actually
World War I is a
enjoyed this
very-
movie thoroughly.
Is a very
I would
difficult war, and
It was
there's
controversial.
Yeah.
Because no one knew what side was bad or good.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one to be like, these are the good people, these are the bad ones.
Anyway,
But you're right, Captain America already took it. Not that that really stopped them from taking Thor and Captain America.
Okay, well.
yeah.
Continue with your
I would,
ever-long speeches.
This is the end of my speech. I'd like to say that I would also put this movie around the same place as Thor.
I actually disagree with that now. It's below Thor for me.
I would put it
think
just
I hate
above
this
Thor.
movie.
I would put it just above Thor for me. I'm actually going to give this an 8.
Whoa. You
That's-
clearly have a lot of hate.
I have 8?
Yeah.
Because it rhymes with hate.
Because it goes bad, bad, bad. 1 bad, 2 bad, 3 bad, 4 bad, 5
I
bad.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
6
I
bad,
had
7
very
bad.
much fun with it, and I found that there were things that, though not
9 is
developed, that you could
average.
that you could latch onto. It wasn't just, they didn't just completely keep it devoid of anything that they would try to make it interesting. They tried to give things to make it interesting. Maybe they didn't develop it as much as they could, but they certainly did try, and they did attempt at real art, which is more than I could say for any of the DCEU movies. So,
Movie makes me hate my soul, I think.
so nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at the end of the day for Austin. He thinks their track record is still
No,
nothing but bad movies.
It's completely changed for me because I walked out thinking it was good and now I think I hate this
No, I
movie.
mean like nothing has changed at
No,
the end
yeah.
for the DCEU in your mind. They're still running bad.
Yeah.
And I think they've actually had
This
they've
is
had
closer
they've
to
had a
good.
success. But then does this like people
They've
are
had a lot
saying
of
this will be?
success, they've made a lot of money.
That's not what I mean. I mean
No,
they've
but
had a
that's all
success
I
in
care
terms of.
about.
I mean, in my opinion, they've made an enjoyable
We
movie.
need money.
They've made a good movie that I would like to watch again.
Ooh.
In my opinion, for me. But a lot of people are talking this is the savior for the DCEU. I disagree wholeheartedly. This, though you don't agree, I think this is
They
so
should
far
have
a
brought it
one-off.
like a
This is so far a one-off. They,
Take the clip, take the coat hanger.
what is it? Justice League, which comes out also this year, is
It's
probably
gonna be
gonna
bad.
suck. Still.
Well, I mean, they lost a director.
Yeah, it's still gonna suck probably. Batman is probably still gonna suck, given that it's got
I
the
don't
same patterns
even know if
going.
it's even going to be made, considering...
The Flash is probably not gonna be made
The
because
next one
that's
after
going
Justice
so
League is
hard.
Aquaman, which is
Right,
made by James Wan.
Aquaman is just gonna be terrible. I don't know what you can do with Jason Momoa. It's not just
Aquaman could have a good movie. It's
right. No, I know, but
that's not Aquaman.
the thing is, Jason Momoa is an actor who has
I've never seen him in
consistently
anything.
shown that he is not charismatic enough to carry.
What about Game of Thrones? People like
Game of
that.
Thrones, he's a silent guy who's just really buff.
Like
He's not
Aquaman
really much
in
to
this
know.
version.
Sure. Well, you can do a good thing, but I don't know. Can you do a good thing with a silent buff dude? Aquaman is the main character carrying a movie, where his whole thing is he's silent and stuff.
Well, they made a Mad Max movie, in which Mad Max has like 3 lines.
It's true, but Mad Max is never really like the main thing in the Mad Max movies. He's
I've
sort
never
of
seen any of them.
I haven't. He's sort of like this passive observer in
Fair
the
enough.
dramas of everybody else, and he sort of just moves
My
in
biggest
and
problem with
drifts
that
in and
movie
out.
is just that it is 2 hours of one action scene.
Well, that is what Mad Max is. If like you said, you've never seen them. I've seen them. That is what Mad Max is,
I've
and
heard
where
it's got
where it
more.
thrives, and that's what he always wanted to do, but never had the budget to do, and he just did it. Anyway,
I don't know.
this movie I think is a one-off for me. I know you didn't like it. You liked it okay, I think.
Don't tell Cody how he feels about this.
He just
movie.
agreed. I'm just saying from
It's
what
'cause
I heard him
he's texting,
say.
he's not listening.
I think it's a one-off. I don't think this is the savior of the DCEU. I think that people continue to fuck up, and this is just like their one-off. But I definitely I enjoyed this. I like this. I can watch it again. I probably will want to watch it again on my own time, probably with my family or something, if we can find the time to do so. So in a weird twist of fate from the last time that the 3 of us were together, Austin is the most negative, Cody is in the middle, and I, who was the most negative on Alien Covenant, have flipped to being
But Cody's
extremely
neutral
positive.
both times.
No. You were neutral. You gave it like a middle of the road. You were like, yeah, it's
I
not.
thought I liked it the most.
No, he was the one who came out saying he liked it. You came out saying I
I
thought it
thought
was
it
going to be terrible,
I
but
thought
I
it was
liked it okay.
Yeah, I thought I liked it more than Cody did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Stop
you did.
telling us
I
our
remember
opinions
from the
on
moment. I
movies.
remember that very vividly.
I don't remember what happened in Alien Covenant.
No, but I remember walking out of the theater and our
And I'm
reactions.
never gonna remember what happened in this movie. Probably like right now, like I barely remember what happened.
Well, I liked it. I had fun, and I'm glad. I'm
I
glad
like
that actually
sticking
finally had fun.
bamboo in my fingernails, but I don't like this movie.
It's a fun hobby,
It is a fun hobby. I
just
like
because it's
my
so
life.
different.
I
Okay.
also like waterboarding more than this movie.
Wow. I think that's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a bit much, obviously. I don't know.
This is not a movie where I think you can be like, I think I'd rather be viciously
No,
tortured
this
in
is
a way
not
that
this
it's
is not
like,
a god awful movie. It's just not a good movie. It's just
rather
a bad
than watch
movie.
it.
Don't watch this movie.
I think for most audiences, watch this movie.
Don't.
Anyway. Okay, I think we're pretty much done with that. I hope you guys
Bless
enjoyed
you.
the ridiculous,
The
horrible ramblings
horrible movie.
of Cody, Austin, and Brandon of the Day Ghost.
Horrible random.
Reviews.
Rambling.
This has been
What?
the Day Ghost
Rambling?
Reviews,
We're rambling. What?
looking at Wonder Woman.
We always ramble.
Goodbye.